so we're going to go ahead and we're going to make the most amazing strawberry cream cheese icing, or frosting depending on which part of the world you are and what you call it. This is a great frosting for things like cakes, cupcakes. You could even put some on your bagels, even on waffles and donuts as well. So I'm going to be using this one on some of my vegan cupcakes. So let's go ahead and go through the ingredients first. So we're going to be using half a container of vegan cream cheese. Now you can see this one that I use is coconut based. What I really like about it is that it doesn't have any soy in it. So obviously you may find soy ones that you can use. We prefer coconut because I actually can't tolerate soy. So that's the one we're going to be using. This is half of the container, so a little under 115 grams. And then we have our icing sugar. So I have 360 grams, which is the equivalent of 3 cups. A pinch of salt, just in case we need it. This is quite a sweet frosting, so sometimes I'll add just a little pinch of salt to it to take away that sweetness. Then we're going to add some of my homemade strawberry jam. Now this is my strawberry maple jam. There are 3 tablespoons, which is 60 grams. Then we have 2 tablespoons or 30 grams of my plant-based butter. And finally, I'm going to add a little splash of vanilla bean paste, because you know me, I just love to add it to all of my icing. So probably going to use maybe half a teaspoon of that. We'll see how we go with the flavorings. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do then is actually start with our cream cheese. I'm going to pop that in our mixing bowl. You could do this with a stand mixer if you wanted to. Sometimes if I'm making a small batch, which this is, I just prefer to use my hand mixer, but again, use your stand mixer if you prefer. To that, we're going to add our butter. Now my butter is at room temperature. If you forget to bring it out soon enough, just pop it in the microwave for a few seconds to soften it up. And then we're going to take our hand mixer and just combine them together until they're nice and light and fluffy. Okay, so that came together really quickly, and you can see it's lightened it up a little bit. Looks great. Now we're going to start to add the rest of our ingredients. So now we're going to go and add our jam. So depending on the flavor of frosting that you wanted to make, you could add different flavors of jam. A blueberry compote would be really, really nice to add into this as well. And if you're looking for the recipe for this, you can find it on my website, and I'll also pop the link for that below in the description as well. So that's our jam. We're going to add our splash of vanilla. Now you could measure this if you want to, or I just kind of eyeball it. I think that'll be perfect. And then we're going to give this a quick mix together. So that was just a quick mix until everything is combined. We don't want to go too far with this because we want to keep the nice consistency. You can see already it's got that really, really nice pink color as well. And now it's as simple as adding our icing sugar. So what I do suggest is don't add all of this in one go. It will make a huge mess and you'll probably end up with icing sugar here instead of it in the bowl. So I tend to add a little bit at a time, more or less in thirds, I suppose. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's add more. So already you can see this is starting to thicken up a little bit. Top tip when you're making cream cheese frosting is that it is totally okay to pop it in the fridge before you place it in a piping bag to pipe it later on. Sometimes it just needs that extra little bit of help to firm up. Let's add that last bit of icing sugar. And that's as much as I'm going to do. I'm not going to go over the top with beating this because we don't want to actually just overdo it with the cream cheese frosting. So you can see it's thickened up really nicely. It's got a beautiful color to it. What I like, because we added jam to it, you've actually got the bits from the strawberries in it too, which just makes it a little more interesting when you pipe it. I'm going to grab a spoon, I'm going to taste it, and we'll see if we need to add any salt to it. Okay, so let's have a look at that consistency first. You can see it is thickened slightly. It's not runny anymore, which is great. Let's try some. So that's really, really good. I'm really pleased with how the flavor of the strawberries comes through. Now, even though it is a coconut cream cheese, that does affect the flavor ever so slightly. I actually like that flavor though. If you don't, obviously you could use a soy one instead. But as I say, it complements it really, really nicely. We will add a little bit of salt though, just to enhance the flavor. So I think I'll put about half of this in. And then we'll just give it a quick whisk. Beautiful. So there we go, that's how easy it is to make a strawberry cream cheese frosting. This really is good enough to eat from the bowl, but what we will be doing, as I said earlier, is actually popping it in the fridge to firm up a little bit. Then I'm going to transfer some of it to a piping bag, and we're going to pipe it on some vegan cupcakes. So I hope you enjoyed watching this quick tutorial showing how to make my favorite strawberry cream cheese frosting. Make sure you check out the rest of the baking videos on my channel so you can see the various things that you can make to use this with. Also, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and let me know in the comments if you're going to have a go at making this as well. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.